in some previous videos, I mentioned in the video that I needed to get better at kayak management. So there were two accessories that I felt like would help me do this. I tell you what, I've got the kayak right back here. Let's go ahead and get those accessories on the kayaks. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and let's start with a smaller box. We're going to get this cut open here. Let's make sure that you guys can see that. Yeah, you guys can see that. Okay, so one of the first accessories that I started looking for was a paddle slash shallow anchor type mount, so that I could make sure that when I click the paddle in, one of the issues that you have, which you can hear, right? That noise right there. You hear that noise right there? That is going to scare away the fish, okay? So, and anytime I set it in the boat, it's making noise, right? So, got these Aventik, I guess that's the way you pronounce it right there. So I got these so that I could mount them to the track, and I'll be able to set the paddle down without making all that noise that's going to scare away the fish. Because what I found in kayak fishing is that every little noise travels like crazy. So I want to be as stealth as I can. I'm fishing in probably 6 inches of water or less. So anyways, I got these, and the reason I got these is that they are a T setup, but more importantly for me is that you got the mount right here, okay? Got that mount right there, but these right here, okay, these come off. Whereas some of the ones that I was looking at, they're fixed to it. So if it's fixed to it, then I can't adjust and have the setup that I want. I'm stuck with however, wherever I can put them. So for these, I can use them in one place, I can move it to another place, and it's gonna make it where I'm gonna be much more efficient at fishing, right? So let me kind of set this up and let me show you again why I got this and how it's gonna help me, okay? All right, so let's get these on the kayak, all right? So as you can see, there's a little T-bolt right here, okay? There's these little notches that will keep it securely in the track, okay, once I get it on there. So anyways, I'm gonna put it on this track, all right? Slide in like that, just let that drop down, boom. Yeah, just like that right there. Get that secure. There we go, get in the position I want, and boom, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's in there. That's pretty secure right there, right? Okay, just like that. So we got that to where the out to the side. Okay, so these things right here, we're just going to do the same thing. Untwist, right? Untwist, untwist, untwist. Set in, slide over. We're going to twist again. Let's get it one more time. Okay. So, little teeny tiny play, I can see that, all right? That's just my first impression. All right, so what we can see here though, is that let me go ahead and get this. So we get our paddle, just to give you an example of how it's gonna fit in there. So, move this right here. So the paddle, usually on this, going right about here. So that'll set in there, okay? Much less noise than me clicking it. Well, except for if I hit that, right? So that just clicks in, and now it's off to the side. But more importantly, what this is going to do is it's going to keep the paddle from within the deck space, all right? Making less noise, keeping it where it's off the deck space, okay? My plan, because I do a lot of stand-up fishing, is to have a PVC pipe or something that I can kind of set it here, and then I can actually adjust this fitting here to where it's going to sit about like that. And then that way, when I'm standing up, I don't have to bend over as much. I can just grab a rod and I can cast out to the fish that I may be seeing. Because like I said, I do a lot of stand-up fishing, and so it's very important to me to be able to just kind of set the paddle down, not make noise, cast to the fish, and then hopefully catch a fish, all right? So not only am I gonna use this for the paddle, but I'm also gonna use this for my shallow anchor, right? So the shallow anchor, I usually have it on the side because it's basically the same size as the paddle. So again, same concept here. I'll be able to just set that right in there, and I'm gonna have one in the back, or I'll have one across from the side. And I'm gonna show you that in just a second. And then that way I can just set this in here, and again, not make noise, and it's out of the way. That's the key, it's out of the way. I've got full use of my deck, all right? Let me go and set up this other one so you can see what it looks like with two of them on, all right? Set this down here. Again, real time here, people. Doesn't take much. I just spin that down a little bit, set it right here, slide, and now I'm just going to twist. Okay. Now, would I say that this is going to does it give me the feeling that, oh my gosh, this is like the strongest thing ever? Yeah, it's medium. Do I feel secure, you know, knowing that it's going to hold on to my paddle? Yeah, it's going to hold on to my paddle for where I'm going to set it. Right here now is my shallow anchor, right? Again, I can set this to where it's here. Now I can set that shallow anchor there, okay? And whoops, right there like that, okay? You've got the straps that will come over and secure it if you need to, right? So I got the straps, and I can also tighten those up. I can cinch those up, but you can see that my shallow anchor fits in here. And again, it's about controlling deck space, right? Deck space is limited in a kayak, so you need to make sure you have accessories like this. And I didn't appreciate that when I first got into kayaking, because I'm like, oh, it's no big deal, you know, I can just set this here, there, and then by the time you add 6 or 7 different things, you have almost zero space, all right? So that's gonna help me with the paddle and my shallow anchor. I wanna show you why I've got 2 of them. Okay, give me just a second, let me set that up. This is another reason that I got 2, and I wanted something, again, that I could remove the clamps themselves that hold on to, you know, the paddle. This is gonna allow me to do the paddle this way. I guess if I wanted to use it to set up where I could measure the fish, I guess you could do that. But also if I'm just sitting in my seat right here and I just want to set the paddle down across, I could do that. Typically I would not do that if I'm landing a fish, because that's going to be in the way. One of the things that I could also do is I've got this back here, and that's on my for my landing gear. Okay, so the way I've got this set up right here is that, boom, I could do it this way if I wanted to, and again, it's out of the deck space, right? So that's the important thing. I'm trying to clear this area up, or this area right here, so that I don't have stuff sitting in my deck space. So that's the paddle slash shallow anchor mounting system that I'm using to try to help, again, make me more efficient. So let's get probably what you want to see, and that's the next accessory. Let me get set up and I'll show you that, and that's going to be very helpful as well. All right, so let's get this next package opened up right here. Okay, so the next accessory is a universal rod holder from Kayak. Just like everyone else, I was online. I did all kinds of research. I watched all kinds of videos, DIY stuff, how to, the different crates and whatnot. For me, what I found is that once I landed the fish, and I primarily fish for reds and trouts and whatnot, and also flounder, and so, I didn't have a place to put the rod. So I had this fish, I had the net, now I got this fish in the deck, I got the rod that is in the boat, and I didn't want to have a rod broken, and it was just very, very inefficient on how I was having to set the rod down, potentially losing the rod overboard, and I kind of got frustrated with that, and I mentioned that in some of my videos that, hey, I got to get a rod holder. So through all my research, I'm just straightforward. I don't like to spend money, and I found that just through reviews and just it looked like product-wise that this is going to be much sturdier than some of the other stuff that I was seeing. That it was a little more flexible in some of the videos. I end up going with the Omega Pro because based on the way the New Canoe Unlimited is and where I'm going to be setting in the track system, it needed to be up a little bit or it was going to be constantly hitting me or hitting the deck. So Let's get these totally open and get them on the kayak and show you how I'm going to be using them, again, to free up some deck space and to make me more efficient, okay? All right, guys, so we got them out. First impressions, wow. Really substantial. You could, I got these loose right now, but you can hear them clicking, right? This is a heavy duty, well-made product. And I don't know if I noticed, if I made this point, but it is made in the USA. So it's good to see something in the USA. It's made well. It's not something cheap that's gonna break. So one of the cool things about the Yak Attack, the Omega Pro and whatnot, yeah, it's got the extension, that's why it's, you know, the Pro, but is the mounting system. So it's pretty simple. You just kind of loosen that up, right? And it can fit in the track, right? Boom, tighten it down wherever you want it, okay? Right there. And now there's this little mechanism, okay? A little click right there, and there's, you can see right here that right there you can unlatch it, right? That's not, once you lock it in, it's not going anywhere. So anyways, from here we just simply put it in the direction that we want it and then boom, do that little latch. It's good to go, right? So we're going to go ahead and adjust this. Maybe if I was fishing and I wanted to make sure I could see that rod tip, right? That right there. And then if I realize, oh no, that's not the angle that I want, simply do that, lift up a little bit, turn it, click it back in, okay? It's as simple as that. So anyways, this particular rod holder, another reason that I went with it, not that I usually do spinning, I don't do bait casters, I do mess around with a fly rod every now and then, and that's something that I'm gonna you know, mess around with. So one of the cool things about this particular setup as well is that, you know, spinning rods. Obviously I'm doing spinning rods, do that right there. As I come down here now, boom, okay? See if we can see on that camera. Yeah, so you can see, once I lock that around, that's not going anywhere. That fish can do all it wants, it's not going anywhere, okay? And you can see if this rod is bent over, that's, I mean, I don't want to break my rod, but it's gonna be substantial enough that I don't have to worry about the rod flying out, okay? When I'm landing a fish, right? So let's get this around. So when I'm landing a fish, obviously, right? I'm not as concerned, right, about the rod coming out. So I just got to go to there. You can see the butt's going to kind of latch in there, and I loosen up the tension, and now I can manage the fish in the deck, okay? Again, this is going to allow me to get the rod off of the deck, okay? And that's super important for, I mean, that's the whole reason I got this particular accessory. Yeah, you got a rod holder on the boat. I've got 2 rod holders in the back, but they're so far back they're not any use to me other than carrying my rods out there with me. This is going to allow me to have my rod in different places. I can take off the extension if I don't want it here, but if you can see right here, there's a little lip. And what I didn't want is I didn't want when I have my rod here that it was constantly hitting me, right? So since I have this lip, I got to get the extension, okay? And I can always, again, I can do all kinds of adjustments here. So I could, if I want to, bring this out a little bit and then click that up. So I could get a little further away from me per se, right? And again, if I'm fishing, bottom fishing, boom, I lock that in. It's not going anywhere. I don't have to worry about it going overboard. So my plan with the other one, when I'm not doing bottom fishing, because usually if I'm bottom fishing, I've got 2 rods out and at least 2 lines out, right? So with this other one, I'm gonna put it in the back, have it set up. Let me see if we can show you this real quick. Just take a second, that's the beauty of it. Again, I just unclasp this, right? Loosen this up, just takes a second. Boom, just like that, okay? And now, let's go ahead and just pull this off. It's the beauty of this camera. I love my Osmo Action camera. So again, all I have to do is just come back here, loosen up enough to get in that track. Let's see. All right, let's get that around there, just like that. Boom. Okay. So let's say I wanted my rod. Let's say I wanted my rod right here, right? So now I got this, okay? Now I take this right here. And again, I can set this up to where it's kind of like, let's set this up like maybe right about there. So it's kind of out of the way, right? Click that in, adjust this so it's more up like that. Let's go almost straight up. All right, again, this is real time, people, real time. Okay, so let's say that I'm out and I am shallow water, doing my paddle thing, see a fish, right? And again, I'm paddling, so I've got the paddle in my hand, of course, right? But let's say I'm trying to throw this rod right here. So now I can have this rod back here like this. So it's just sitting there, it's ready to go, right? Yes, I could mount something to my box, but I'm trying to keep it where it's waterproof, so I'm trying to keep it that way because I keep my camera equipment in there and not trying to mount things to it. This allows me to put this rod wherever I need it based on the day, right? So I can set that right there. Fishing, I see something, I can put my paddle down. While I'm standing up, I can grab my rod and now I'm ready to throw to the fish, right? Again, more efficient, okay? When I catch a fish, I can have this rod holder right here and I can set the rod in, release the fish, right? I feel like these two accessories are going to make a world of difference in my fishing, okay? And you know, again, depending on how you fish, right? I've got a trolling motor now and definitely using that to get around, but I'm still in areas where I can't use a trolling motor. It's just too shallow, so I got to use my paddle. So then I have to manage it. And if I'm making noise and I'm in 4 inches of water, that sound's just going to scare the fish. Every fish, you know, around me is going to know that there's someone in the water, and they're going to be very spooky, right? So I feel like I needed something to get a little more silent, so that's why I got the T paddle holder here. I needed something for the shallow anchor that takes care of that, and now I've got a substantial rod holder, and I feel like this is going to make me a much better fisherman because I'm going to enjoy it more. Oh, by the way, I bought this stuff with my own money. I'm not trying to promote it for anyone. I researched it, and no one's paying me to do this. No one sent me any free product. So again, I'm just giving you my honest opinion. The Yak Attack Omega Pro, man, feels substantial. The other one is, it's okay, but I paid $39.95 for the Omega Pro, and I paid you know, $16 for each of the T paddle holders. And so I'll leave a link in the description below. Maybe in a few months, I'll go ahead and do maybe a follow-up and let you know just how this stuff's holding up. Anyways, if you have any questions, please leave it in a comment below. Saltwater Jake out. Peace.